After Chin Lake, I headed south on Highway 191 and then connected with Interstate 40 West on my way to the Petrified Forest. Here's a sign for the northern entrance to the Petrified Forest. As you can see, the Painted Desert is a part of the Petrified Forest. Lots of scenic turnouts in the Painted Desert. The first turnout in the Painted Desert is this place called Pony Point. Here's another view at Pony Point. You can hear the wind really blowing. Farther down is a place called Newspaper Rock, where over 650 petroglyphs are on display. Do they mark trails, commemorate an event, or is it all just idle gossip? The landscape at the Painted Desert was like being on another planet. This is an area called the Blue Mesa. And here are some people hiking in the Blue Mesa. Soon I was in the Petrified Forest area of the park and at a place called the Jasper Forest. We're here at the Petrified Forest. Here are a couple of large petrified logs in the Jasper Forest. This is a chunk of petrified wood, and all those little rocks are pieces of petrified wood, which made me think this would make a pretty cool t-shirt to sell at this national park. The next stop was a turnout called the Giant Logs, famous for the amount of petrified wood there. The petrified wood in the park is made up of almost solid quartz. Each piece is like a giant crystal. The petrified wood averages just a little over 200 million years old. This picture will help give you an idea just how big some of these logs are. A couple of dinosaur statues in front of the museum that's just outside the park. A short 19 miles from the Petrified Forest is the town of Holbrook, Arizona, located right on old Route 66. This is where I decided to stay for the night. Sweet Indian maiden. That's right, I slept in a wigwam at the famous Wigwam Motel in Holbrook, Arizona. A little bit of Americana. At one time there were 7 of these wigwam motels across the nation. Now there are only 3. One in Kentucky, one in California, and this one right here in Holbrook. Here I am at the Wigwam Motel in Holbrook, Arizona. Talk about a blast from the past. Pure 50s. Having a good time. Here's my wigwam right behind us, number 14. Let's take a look inside and see what we see, okay? Alright, here we are inside. As you can see, it's small, but it's got all the comforts at home. This is the view from the front door towards the bed and the bathroom. Notice how the walls curve in. This is the view looking towards the front door. As cool as the Wigwam Motel was, and it was pretty cool, it was even cooler because it had classic cars parked throughout the area. I've been driving all night, my hands went on the wheel. By that time I was pretty hungry, so I drove a few blocks down to the local A&W. They no longer had the Papa Burger and Mama Burger, but I did get a mean chili dog which talked back to me all night long. After that delicious dinner, I returned to my motel to get a good night's sleep. It was getting dark out and I had a lot of driving ahead of me the next day. I woke up feeling pretty good the next morning, although I was as hungry as a bear and I needed some strong black coffee to jumpstart my day. So, after passing by a dinosaur/rock shop, I stopped off at Joe and Aggie's Cafe for some breakfast. A map showing where Holbrook is on Route 66 is painted on the side of Joe and Aggie's, along with an emblem showing every state that Route 66 passes through. I ended up getting a man-sized plate of cheese enchiladas, hash browns, and refried beans. Like I needed some more beans in my diet. After breakfast, I was back heading east on I-40. In a short 15-minute drive, I hit my first destination, Joseph City, where I got off on Jackrabbit exit to see the Jackrabbit Trading Post. Here I am at the famous Jackrabbit Trading Post. Unfortunately, I got here before they were open, so time to move on, I guess. Even though they were closed, I wasn't gonna let that little detail spoil my fun. Yeehaw! Next up was a stop on Route 66 at the little town of Winslow, Arizona.
Such a fine sight to see. It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford, slowing down to take a look at me. Come on, babe.
Thanks to the song and the standing on the corner part, the tourism trade in Winslow is going strong once again. Once again, I was back on the road. When you mention Route 66, if you don't think of that famous old hit TV show, you probably think of the road. You know, the one that winds from Chicago to LA. And if you think of that road, you probably think of that iconic song, the one that was composed by Bobby Troup in 1946, made famous by Nat King Cole later that year.
I get your kicks on Route 66. Now you go through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, and Oklahoma City looks mighty pretty. You'll see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Winona, Kingman.
Kingman? Not quite yet. Try Seligman, which, like a lot of other towns I'm sure, claims to be the birthplace of Route 66. It seems like there is something on every corner of every street in Seligman to remind you that you're on Route 66. There's even a motel named Route 66. Check out this old cherry top here. Also, lots and lots of souvenir stores, most of them selling Route 66 mementos or other nostalgic keepsakes. I was really tempted to get this Elvis clock.
Everybody in old cell block was dancing to the jailhouse rock.
Then there's the question of these mannequins on the roof of these buildings. Don't ask me why they're there, because I don't know. Hey, I said don't ask me why. Maybe they were trying to figure out where they wanted to go next. I knew where I wanted to go next, and it wasn't Rome or London. It was right here in town. In fact, it was the main reason why I stopped in Seligman. It was a place called the Roadkill Cafe. I mean, with a name like that, you know I just had to check it out. And then when I saw Buzzard on the cover of the menu, I knew I was in the right spot. Here's a look at some of the, colorful items on the menu. Let's see, decisions. Sidewall surprise, mystery meat, ground round of hound. How about bird that smacked the curb or centerline bovine? The chicken that almost crossed the road. Gotta be good. I finally ended up with a sidewall surprise with a pastrami. It was lip-smacking good. Inside the Roadkill Cafe, you'll find the OK Saloon. On the ceiling are hundreds of dollar bills with the patrons' names printed on them. I mean, I'm just saying, in case you're in the neighborhood and short on cash. I still had a tiny, empty spot in my stomach, so I headed down the street to the colorfully decorated Delgadelo's Snow Cap, and I got myself a soft-serve chocolate ice cream cone. If I wasn't so full, I could have gotten a cheeseburger with cheese. Hey, now that's a novel item. Let's see what else they have there. Malts, tacos, burritos, dead chicken. After that, all I had to do was head the car west on I-40 and head home.